As we're all spending a lot more time at home during the pandemic, we've also been doing a lot more home improvements. But unfortunately, rogue traders have been taking advantage of that. It's also been an ideal time for cold callers to catch consumers at home offering to do all types of work. We at Trading Standards have noted an increase in rogue trader activity, particularly around roofing work. However, the advice I'm about to give applies to any work you may have done in or around your home and garden. Now, rogue traders will try to put you under pressure to agree to work by exaggerating the amount of work required or even invent the need for work to be done at all. They will then charge much more than the normal for the work, which is likely to not be of a particularly high standard and may need to be done again. We've had complaints of traders knocking on people's doors offering to do work as they are in the area or working down the road on a neighbour's house, when that's just not the case. Often they'll tell you that they've spotted a slipped roof tile or some damaged guttering on your house, which they can fix immediately there and then, and it won't cost much. Now this is where the fraud starts. These small jobs often escalate into something you weren't expecting, and you're put on the spot to agree to bigger works that you didn't originally think you needed doing. Where a small job turns into a much bigger one, we call this bouncing the job. Trading Standards has seen an increase in these complaints in this type of upselling, including these two recent examples. In the first case, the work was originally stated to be a small job, just a replacement of a few tiles. Once up on the roof, the trader said the owner needed a whole new roof for reasons of health and safety and quoted a top price of £40,000. A quote of £26,000 was agreed to and work commenced, but things didn't go right and the owner then contacted us at Trading Standards. We provided legal and practical advice, negotiated a reduction in price and provided support whilst the work continued. In the other case, the cold call was by a trader offering to carry out a small job for £60 to remove a blocked air brick at ground level. He returned the next day to start work and said the problem was far worse than he first thought, and now he needed £2,000 to renew the damp-proof course. He also then said scaffolding was needed, as apparently the roof battens were rotten and this was causing damp problems. He'd have to replace the whole roof for £20,000. At that point, the resident got suspicious and asked us at Trading Standards for help. Again, in this case, we supported the homeowner, advising her not to pay, and we informed the trader he was not to return. A professional surveyor who later looked said the extra work was completely unnecessary. There was no need for damp proofing or roof repairs. In both these cases, homeowners were put on the spot to agree to large works they didn't originally think needed doing. Never feel pressurised into agreeing to additional work there and then. Give yourself time to think and obtain comparison quotes. Confirm if the work is actually required. Once you know it is, get a couple of quotes to ensure the traders are charging the same kind of price for those works and then decide. If you find a good trader to carry out works, it's more likely the job will go well and that you'll be charged a reasonable price. Trading Standards, however, has noticed these complaints rising as a result of consumers trying to do the right thing, not dealing with cold callers and instead going online to good trader sites to find someone to carry out works. Do beware, there are a great many of these sites out there and they don't all carry out the same level of checks, meaning that rogues can get onto the sites and appear to be vetted. Online reviews may also not quite tell the whole story. Take extra care to double check the scheme you want to use where there is one and use your local Trading Standards approved trader scheme. Now, our advice is always use a trustworthy and competent trade person. Try to obtain 3 quotes for the work required. Try to use personal recommendations. Use traders that have actually been used by your friends or family. If you need to use a trusted trader site, ensure that they carry out comprehensive checks. Contact your local trading standards service on the Citizens Advice line, which is 0808 223 1133, and ask them if they've got a trusted trader scheme. Do not respond to cold callers or let them convince you that a job is urgent. Remember, if at any point you feel you're being pressured or the trader won't leave, then call the police on 999. We urge anyone who is wanting advice on doorstep trading and wishes to report an incident to contact the aforementioned Citizens Advice Consumer Service on the number I've spoken about. I'll give that to you again. It's 0808 223 1133. Remember, they give free, independent and impartial advice on all consumer issues and give us at Trading Standards vital intelligence to assist them in tackling these rogues. One last piece of advice regarding anyone that calls when you're not expecting them. If you're not sure, don't open the door. Thank you for listening.